Hey, what is going on everyone? Fallout here, and oh, we are back with another God Roll video, the series where I take community favorite weapons from D2 and break down exactly what the true God Roll might be for either PvP or PvE. Today, we are taking a look at a weapon that people love, and that is the Bygones Pulse Rifle, the weapon you can grab from the Drifter and by playing Gambit. This is a very cool looking gun, and after using it for a good while, I have to admit, I am definitely a fan. Pulse rifles work well in the current meta, I think, so why don't we take a look at what exactly can drop on this gun and what we're looking for in the God Roll. As always, I have to mention that my God Roll may be different from your God Roll. If you have a roll that you genuinely enjoy and it works for you, by all means, continue to enjoy it. And with that out of the way, let's get to it. The Bygones is a kinetic 390 RPM pulse rifle, meaning it shoots relatively slowly, but it hits fairly hard, putting it into the same category as the Inaugural Address, the Marine, and Jorum's Claw. It's a member of the Adaptive Frame family and fires the traditional 3-round burst shot that you would expect from an everyday pulse rifle. No tricky 4-shot business going on here. As is tradition, we're going to start out on the far right in column 4 and work our way backwards towards the barrel. In column 4, we have a grand total of 5 perks to choose from: Outlaw, Full Auto, Head Seeker, Slide Shot, and Under Pressure. For those of you who have seen my most recent God Roll video on the right side of wrong pulse rifle, you know that I am not a fan of Head Seeker. The numbers are weak, the activation criteria is strict, and if you're accurate, this perk means next to nothing to you anyway. Scrap that. I'm also not too keen on Under Pressure. Yay for more stability, but you need to have a low magazine in order to get the benefit, which isn't something you really want to rely on too frequently. Full Auto. I only really like this perk on shotguns. In the land of the pulse rifle, Full Auto does nothing for your RPM. Your weapon does not shoot any faster, the only thing it does is make shooting your gun easier. But come on boys and girls, we're not lazy. If you already know the timing for when and how often to pull the trigger on a pulse rifle, you should be fine. The two winners here are, in my opinion, Outlaw and Slide Shot. Outlaw, as we all know, giving you a quicker reload on a precision kill, which, on an accurate weapon like the Bygones, is going to give you a lot of mileage when used properly. And bonus, it pairs well with other good perks, which I'll get to in a minute. Slide Shot gives you a partially reloaded mag, better range, and better stability when you slide. All good things, all easily activated, what's not to love? Let's move on to column 3. Here we have 5 more choices: Rampage, Kill Clip, High Impact Reserves, Opening Shot, and Rangefinder. Now this is kind of a heartbreaker. We have 3 really good perks to pick from, and I'm kind of upset that they're all put together in the same category. Ah well. Let's identify what we can kick to the curb right away. What to pick from? Oh, how about this? High Impact Reserves. Again, from my right side of wrong video, this perk is not good. A, you only get to use it if you get to the bottom half of your magazine, and B, when you finally get there, the damage boost is so minimal. Like, why? Definitely don't expect this to do a thing for you in PvP. Hard pass. Adding to that pile, we're gonna put Opening Shot in there too. Alright, now before you get upset, for the record, I really love Opening Shot on certain weapons like hand cannons, and especially on slug shotguns. Not so much on pulse rifles though, and definitely not so much when it's standing right next to 3 of the best weapon perks around. Which brings us to Rangefinder. Oh, Rangefinder, how I love you so. You might be basic, you might be boring, but you literally always benefit the user. More range is better damage fall off and better accuracy, and if you don't want that, you might be a crazy person. Short version, if you get a Bygones with Rangefinder, you should be happy with having that perk drop. Rampage. In my recent video, I talk about the differences between Rampage and Kill Clip. In my opinion, I like Rampage better on certain types of weapons. For the Bygones, it'll work fine, especially in 6v6. With a base 38 magazine size, you have 13 opportunities to pull the trigger on this weapon before needing to reload. In crowded PvP games, the odds are good that you'll be able to take advantage of Rampage fairly frequently. Remember, in PvP, 10% damage bonus per level of Rampage stacks up to 3 times. For those of you who know me really well though, you may remember that I love kill clip. A longer duration than Rampage, activation after your reload is finished, and a damage buff in PvP equal to a Rampage 3-stack. That is going to be my big winner here. Big shocker. And again, even though you should be perfectly okay with either Rampage or even Rangefinder, I really enjoy the punching power that Kill Clip brings to the table. Better damage equals better time to kill, equals angry, salty enemies who you can hopefully carve through like butter given the right circumstances. Okay, column number 2, we have 8 choices here, and as I've mentioned before, what you're looking for here might depend on if you play with a mouse and keyboard or if you play with controller. If, for some reason, you're looking for either reload speed or a slightly larger magazine, then go for it, I guess, but I think what you're looking for here is 100% range if you're on a mouse, and a mixture of range and stability if you're on a controller. For the PC Master Race crew, it's going to be armor-piercing rounds or more likely high-caliber rounds. Both perks give you a +5 range, but only high-caliber rounds comes with a slight extra flinch factor, even if it only causes your enemies a mild annoyance in the form of extra incoming flinch. Hey, every little bit helps. For the controller crew, high caliber rounds remains a great option, but also very worthwhile is ricochet rounds, which gives not only +5 range, but +10 stability. Remember, stability matters way more when you're using a controller, so it's not something you want to ignore on console. Column 1, barrel selection. 9 options here: extended barrel, arrowhead brake, chambered compensator, corkscrew rifling, fluted barrel, full bore, hammer forged rifling, polygonal rifling, and small bore. If you're on PC with a mouse and keyboard, you are probably looking for full bore, +15 range, the most you can get from a barrel. It does come with a minus stability, but again, if you're on mouse and keyboard, stability doesn't mean that much to you. For all the controller peeps out there, hammer forged rifling gives you a flat +10 to your range with no drawbacks at all, and small bore gives you a +7 to both range and stability with no drawbacks. Either should be fine. For your Masterwork perk, you know the drill. M&K users are looking for all range, and the controller crew, you are looking for either range or stability, dealer's choice. So, recap, what is our PvP god roll Bygones? Full bore or hammer forged rifling if you're on PC, or hammer forged rifling or small bore if you're on controller. Either high cal rounds or ricochet rounds in column 2, a range or stability masterwork, again depending on controller or M&K. And finally, in the last 2 columns, either Rampage and Slide Shot together, or my personal favorite, which I think is probably the true god roll, Kill Clip and Outlaw. Something you've heard before? Shocker, but I think we need more good weapon perks in this game, Bungie. Sorry to hit you with our same old favorites, I'm sure, but it's just such a good combo. I would like to give a special shout out though to Rangefinder Outlaw. That might not be as potentially destructive as either Kill Clip or Rampage, but that's a damn reliable roll, and it's gonna make you feel like a king on big maps with long sight lanes. A goddamned king, I tells ya. And now, as is tradition, I would like to hear from you. Do you have a roll on this gun that you really like that isn't the one I mentioned? Tell me about it. Would you like to suggest another gun for a god roll discussion video? Hit me with it. Maybe a weapon type we haven't covered yet, you know, to mix things up. Anyway, if you enjoyed today's content, please hit like, and by the way, thank you all so very much for 85,000 YouTube subs. All of you are fantastic. Here's to 90, I guess. Thank you for watching, hope you learned something. See you next time.